Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kelly.
And I'm getting really good at saying that these days.
That you're Andrew? I would hope so.
I meant I meant the whole opening, but yeah.
Oh.
No, I also know my name.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want to hear a real funny story real quick?
Sure.
It's okay, I shouldn't say a really funny, somewhat funny story.
Let's temper
really
my
quickly.
expectations.
Yeah. So my name is not Andrew, for those who don't know. My name legally is John. My parents are like, we're going to name him John, but he's going to go by Andrew because it's my middle name. And I'm like, all right, I'm a toddler. I don't exist mentally yet, so I can't disagree. So when I entered the first grade, the teacher, taking roll, being like, oh, who is everybody? John Bartholomew. And I raised my hand. She's like, okay, next. And I was just like, oh. And didn't correct her that my name was Andrew because I was in first grade and I was nervous and I didn't want to correct her. So I went by John for 3 weeks. And then I brought a piece of paper home to my mom to sign and it said John on it. And she's like, Andrew, why does it say John? I'm like, nothing. Oh. So my mom had to call the teacher and tell her, hey, my son's too nervous to tell you his name is not John.
That's funny. That is a hoot and a holler.
I really hope you didn't expect this to be related to video games. I just thought of it.
Yeah. I thought maybe it would tie in somehow, but...
Nope.
Just a fun little anecdote.
Yeah, I'm just humanizing me since, we're so ethereal to all the people.
Nobody who listens to this podcast knows us in real life.
Not a single one. We are legendary status. We get recognized every single day. It's insane.
Yeah, true.
It's getting a little out of hand. So if you see us in public and, you recognize us, just turn around. Go away.
Look away. Yeah, avert your eyes.
You ready to hop into the news, Kelly?
I sure am.
So first thing we got on the docket is that there is a very strong rumor that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is in active development. This is not the most surprising rumor in the world because Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 were pretty darn successful. 2 is one of the best-selling JRPGs on the Switch, which is really saying something, and far exceeded expectations. So it makes sense that they would make a third one. These rumors came from the fact that voice actress Jenna Coleman, who voices Melia in the original, was talking to a reporter and mentioned that she is recording for a new Xenoblade game. That's kind of less of a rumor and more of like confirmation at that point. Yeah. It's interesting because Xenoblade 1 and 2 are basically not connected whatsoever. So hearing that a voice actress from the first game is returning for the third game, I wonder, there's always a chance that, it's a new character voiced by the same person, but there's also some rumors attached to it that say that this is the ending of a trilogy, which it's again weird because 1 and 2 aren't connected very much.
Yeah.
So I guess they would have to weave them together at the very start, but I don't know. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm not the happiest in the world because I thought 2 was kind of iffy. I adore the first game with all of my heart, but I think the second one's a little iffy, so I'm hoping that the third one is a lot more akin to the first.
Yeah. I've never played any of the Xenoblade Chronicles games. There's only 2, right?
There's 2 numbered ones, and then there's Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a full entry and kind of annoys me because it gets ignored. But yeah, that one's on Wii U and will probably never leave the Wii U. So basically, effectively, there are 2.
Well, I mean, she pretty much said it, so there's
and
not
it was
a whole lot.
It's a given because that studio is really big and Xenoblade's been really successful, but like, it's just such a funny way to find out about an upcoming game.
I know, that would be me. I'd be like releasing things and interviews and stuff without even like realizing it.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, Kelly, you just like leaked that there's a whole new game coming out. And I'd be like, oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, except you probably wouldn't. You'd just be like, what do you mean? Don't you know already? Like, I thought, didn't you know? And blame the audience.
Right. It's always the audience's fault.
Absolutely.
I've never done anything wrong in my life.
No, and everything you've said on this show has been correct and factual and mathematically excellent.
True, yeah. Very true. So on to the next bit of news. Axiom Verge 2 had a surprise release after the Nintendo Indie World Showcase. It releases on the Switch today. Is this news from today?
It was from this week.
Wednesday. Last Wednesday. So it's like it looks to be a little bit of a pixelated, quote, Metroidvania, unquote, type of game. It looks really cool. But yeah, I guess people could kind of see beforehand because there was some update data in the Switch on the servers. So they were like, this is weird. Is this game going to release? And then they were like, surprise, it's out today. So
this one shocked me because I've seen this game's gotten delayed like several times, I believe. And like the first game it came out in 2017. So like it's been a minute.
Yeah.
And this one's been like talked about for so long. I'm glad. I haven't played the first one, and the second one's a prequel, so I'm considering just hopping in on the second one because I love a good Metroidvania, and this is like one of the most esteemed indie, I guess, series now, not just games. So
yeah, it's excuse me. I think all games that have been delayed 1,000 billion trillion times should release in this manner.
It's a good, yeah, because then you don't have any more time to dwell on it. It's just like, no, it's here. Shut up.
Surprise.
No more questions.
No more questions.
I believe the last delay just set a 2021 release date. So at this point, I was kind of just assuming, like, well, to be honest, I was assuming there was going to be another delay, but I thought best case scenario, holiday. So the fact that they were just like, here's a new trailer for this game, and then at the end they're like, it's out. That's cool. It's really cool. For a digital only game, I feel like that should be done way more often.
I agree.
So, keeping in the vein of Nintendo, Pokémon announced that they're going to have a Pokémon Presents video presentation tomorrow, if you are listening to this on the day of release, August 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific. This presentation is going to feature more details on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, as well as information on Pokemon Legends Arceus, your choice. I'm very excited to hear this. I'm extremely weary of Pokemon, as we've discussed, but hey, I still want to see more of Legend Arceus, specifically.
Yeah. I'd like to see how Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl look. If they look different, if they look the same.
Well, I remember, so in that Switch OLED announcement trailer, they showed footage from BDSP, shall we call it. Oh no, that's really close to another acronym. I just saw that. Are P and M near each other on a keyboard? No. Okay, we're safe. That'd be a very funny thing if P and M were close to each other, so people frequently referred to it as Pokemon BDSM by accident.
Yeah.
So.
Totally different game.
Probably exists. Don't Google it. This is a safe for work podcast, which means we only encourage safe for work subjects as well. But what was I even saying? Oh, the Switch OLED reveal trailer had a tiny bit of footage from this remake, and it looked a lot. Okay, I shouldn't say a lot. It looked better than the reveal trailer, because if you remember, the reveal trailer had like these like oversaturated bright colors that looked really unnatural.
Yeah.
And they rolled that back a lot in the Switch OLED trailer, so I'm assuming that it does look better, but I'm curious in what way. We'll see tomorrow, so I don't know why I'm being so critical, but
yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Are you more excited for the remakes or for Legends Arceus?
I'm kind of more excited for the remakes, to be honest with you. I like with Pokemon, I fell off the series after the third generation. And, well, not really. I bought Diamond on the release day, and I remember I got the little stylus with Dialga on top of it. for
Oh.
my Nintendo DS. And I played through that, and that was fine, whatever. And then a few years later, after that I sort of fell off, and then after that I found Platinum. My friend had an Action Replay,
Oh.
and it
Are you a
had
cheater?
it had Pokemon Platinum on it, and I was like, "What is this?" Because I hadn't even heard of Pokemon Platinum. I didn't know that was a thing. So I played it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much fun!" And it sort of revitalized my love of Pokemon. So I'm very deeply attached to Generation 4. It's my favorite gen. I think wasn't it yours too? We've talked about
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah.
It's my favorite gen. So I'm excited to see it remade. I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that it's not, I don't know, like no remakes will ever compare to Soul Silver or
Yeah.
Heart Gold, but that's okay. Maybe it'll surprise us. I don't know. But I'm still excited because I want to relive that journey, and I want Cynthia to feed me my lunch on a silver
Oh.
platter again.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I actually didn't struggle with her in my last playthrough. It was actually quite easy, but I had a Garchomp, so.
Oh, so you were basically cheating. You also were cheating because you had an Action Replay.
Well, no, I didn't actually play on Action Play. I legally bought a copy of Pokemon Platinum like at the next day, and then I played it.
And didn't cheat.
No, this was maybe like 7th grade. No, maybe like 6th grade. I don't know how old I was when Platinum came out. I can't remember.
I don't know how
tween.
old I was.
I was a tweenie bopper, but I was like, I'm too cool for Pokemon. I'm gonna wear Abercrombie and Fitch, which like that didn't work out for me. So,
well, here you are now.
You can't suppress what you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you suppress the Pokemon?
I did. Yeah, I
Oh.
suppressed all the nerdy stuff about me, but it all comes to the surface. You can't hide that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope some good footage comes to the surface during this presentation.
Me too. Sorry, that got a little deep.
No, it's fine. I just
like, talking about my childhood. And...
No, again, we're just humanizing. That is the theme of this episode is humanization.
It's really nice.
Can I share a dream? This is video game related. Can I share a dream of what I want?
Yes.
I want a remake of Diamond and Pearl, but I want it in like a gorgeous modern pixel art style.
Oh.
Maybe like an Octopathy kind of style, like a 3D, 2D thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just like looking like an old Pokemon game, but a lot higher detail and stuff. Because like if you look at the number of pixel art games out there today that look gorgeous, I just think Pokemon could definitely pull that off, and it would look so pretty and cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want that. I know it's not happening because we are literally getting Diamond Pearl remakes in a couple months, but
in a perfect world,
that's the remaster that I would want.
Yeah. Speaking of remasters, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas will be remastered as a trilogy, coming to all platforms, including Switch. This was announced like last week, I think.
Well, it's reported on by...
Reported on.
It hasn't been announced, but like it's been reported on by every outlet, so it's all but confirmed.
Yeah. So this is exciting. I'm excited. They're old games. I mean, it's hard, especially like 3 and Vice City. It's so hard to play them. I don't know, Andrew, did you ever play Grand Theft Auto?
I have experience with San Andreas, not a lot, but like I would be interested in this. That's a lot of game. Like
it is.
I feel like Rockstar is so big into nickel and diming people. I guess that might just be like because of the online modes they use, but like putting 3 games of this size in one collection, even if they are old, really does surprise me. Because it's not just like ports. These are supposed to be remasters.
Yeah.
And also coming to Switch. That surprised me because Rockstar really hasn't touched Switch very much at all.
Yeah. I think the reality of the situation is that all of these companies know that they are seeing now that you can really bank off of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which is why these remasters are becoming sort of I don't want to say easy, but they're they're becoming like an assured way
Oh
that
yeah.
a company can get A, some goodwill, and B, some money. Because I know that the Mass Effect Remaster trilogy made way more money than they were expecting it to.
Yeah.
And you just see this sort of trend of like, even with other media, things are getting remade and redone and stuff like that. So it's
And
not
video
really.
games.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I think video games are even safer than other mediums because it's like much closer to the source material. Because it's not like a remake in a movie. You're expected to make a bunch of changes to make it modern, but like video games is just like make it look a little prettier and maybe play a little better.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be 60, 70. I don't know.
I mean, 60 would be a very fair price to ask for 3 games of this size.
I agree.
So, Kelly, you have a PlayStation 5.
I sure do.
We haven't talked about this. I'm assuming you have also not downloaded the Abandoned real-time demo. Have you?
No.
So Abandoned is this PlayStation 5 game that's supposed to come out. I didn't know a lot about it till recently. It's a horror game with really pretty graphics. It was used early on as like a PS5 showcase, even though it wasn't anywhere near done. And they released a PlayStation 5 app that you could download on the PlayStation 5. And it had trailers in it that would be unlocked later. So the whole thing was they were going to release the full trailer on the PS5 via this update. And so they had people downloading this application. A few days ago, they were supposed to release it, and it wasn't there. And they were like, sorry, we're working on it. So they took a couple days, and they fixed the situation. They released a patch. And the trailer that was included in this app after days of waiting was the same 5-second clip that they released on Twitter to promote the app. So nothing actually came of this.
That does not bode well.
No. This whole situation's so wonky. It's like a weird under wraps horror game. There's a lot of comparisons to PT. A lot of people are saying, and I am not vouching for this, I think it's kind of ridiculous, but also it would be amazing. A lot of people are saying that this is a Kojima project hidden under this weird veil of mystery. And it's just a weird situation.
That is very weird. I feel like it's hard with games like this. You like hype it up so much, and then it's like maybe it's just another like PT walking simulator. You know what I mean? Like PT was revolutionary at the time because of what it was, but in the years following, there have been so many copycats and imitators that it feels like a genre of its own at this point. You're like, oh, I'm walking somewhere. There's going to be a tall woman at some point, and her head will probably be twitching. That is like the blueprint now for all these indie games. And not saying that this is an indie game, but I don't know. I just feel like, and the stuff with Kojima, I mean, it would be cool if he was working on this, but I also kind of feel like part of me would be a little bit disappointed. You would think, I don't know, maybe the quality of the rollout would be a little bit better for such a big name.
Yeah. This situation makes me think, that's what really made me think that Kojima is probably not attached to this. And I feel bad for the creator because it's like a small developer. And now they have this expectation built up. And people also think it might be Kojima. And so when it's not Kojima, people are going to be disappointed. And you know how the internet is. They're going to be angry. And this guy's like, I'm just trying to make a horror game. Please. So I don't know. I've been excited to see this game in like full. But at this stage, I'm like, well, I'm not going to download the app because it's 5 gigabytes just to watch a 5-second trailer, which I don't grasp. And seconds after it goes up, people are going to post it on YouTube, so I can just watch it there.
There's really no reason to download the app.
No, it's the whole situation's kind of funny, but like also, I'm just going to wait it out. I'm just going to wait it out.
So, remember how we were talking about action replays earlier? And
and how
I didn't cheat because I didn't use that. But So ROM Universe, which is a popular ROM website, was ordered by Nintendo in court in a case to destroy all their unauthorized Nintendo games from its platform. So for those who don't know, ROMs are like digital downloads of games that you run on an emulator. So you could emulate like Nintendo DS. You could really emulate almost anything. I think they even have like Wii emulators now. But what you do is you download the ROM and then you like play it on your computer. And they're not really legal because you're downloading the game for free. I was always under the impression that if you already owned the game, that you could do that, but obviously that's not something that's like provable in any way, shape, or form. So they're just sort of sketchy legally, and Nintendo sort of has a reputation of being really like strict on its legality, like copyright stuff, ROM stuff. So it's pretty intense. I was not surprised when I read this news, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it, Andrew.
I have mixed feelings. I mean, ROMs are probably illegal. It's very blurry, and there's no definitive rules on what is legal and what is not. Because the key here is that a lot of these things Nintendo is not giving access to on modern platforms in any capacity, right. You know? The vast majority of video games for the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System are not available on the Nintendo Switch, you know? I would never encourage people to download ROMs. Ever. Also, there's going to be a bunch of ROMs wiped from this very popular ROM website soon.
Yes.
And there is no relation between those two sentences I just said.
None.
No, but I'm just saying, if you have a Switch, you cannot play Earthbound on it. And also, unrelated, Earthbound is on this website.
Unrelated.
No relation.
No relation. Earthbound?
No.
Literally unplayable. Except for this on this website.
Which I would never encourage.
Period. No. No.
Yes, no, not once. Do you want to know a game that I won't be emulating?
What game?
I need to adjust that. I don't have an iPhone or an iPad, so I will not be playing this game, actually, but...
Oh, no.
So...
Do you have, like, a Mac? You might
I
be
guess
able to play
I
it
do.
on your Mac. Sometimes
maybe. I probably won't, because I don't want
The Kim Kardashian game is available on MacBook.
Oh, review coming soon. Kelly's going to do an hour-long review of the Kim
really
Kardashian
bad.
game, right?
Not fun at all.
There's the review.
Pay to win. Pay to be an A-lister, not even to win.
Do you know what you don't have to pay for? If you have an Apple Arcade subscription?
Is it?
Castlevania, Grimoire of Souls. This is a mobile game previously only available on iOS in 2018 in Canada.
Yes.
I didn't know this game existed. I have a pretty good understanding of the Castlevania series, but I didn't know that Konami released a iPhone Canadian exclusive Castlevania game a few years ago. That's so specific.
It is very specific.
It was also pulled from that storefront, so it wasn't even available in Canada after
You know
that.
what it reminds me of? Is a long time ago when Kingdom Hearts 2 was popping, there was like a Kingdom Hearts mobile app, but it was like cell phones back then were like flip phones, and the apps were way different than they are now. So it was like you would open it and you would go to the Kingdom Hearts thing, but it was only available for like a limited amount of time. But it had like plot points in it because, you know, Kingdom Hearts, it has to convoluted as possible. But it had like plot points in it, which then got revisited in like Chain of Memories, I think. So really
Yeah.
good stuff there. Love mobile exclusive games that are only available in Canada. Until now, for Apple Arcade subscribers, all 5 of you.
Yeah. It's such a weird and very specific thing. Like, we've brought up Konami a few times, and it's pretty frequently like, what are they doing? But this might be the most like, what are they doing moment that we've had.
Yeah, it's very questionable.
What were they doing in Canada in 2018? How
Maybe
did
it
that
was like
happen?
a promotion for the show.
Maybe, but like,
Why just
even then, why just Canada? Why just iOS? Why'd it go away afterwards?
Yeah, something ain't clicking.
Why is it back?
It's a great question, one that I have no answers for.
Why do I even... Why?
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 Why do I even try?
Why? That sounds like I'm angry at you. I'm mad at Konami because they make me so confused. Why do they do this to me?
They make my head spin. So, speaking of things that I can't get my head wrapped around, the Life is Strange Remastered collection got delayed until 2022. So, like, okay. I wish that this made sense, but it doesn't. Oh, and the Nintendo Switch version of Life is Strange 2 True Colors will also be delayed, but it's still going to be this year. Why?
Why is the bad remaster? Why is
Why?
it getting delayed?
I'm not trying to be like, why did Life is Strange even need to be remastered? It's a highly stylized game that you play once and you're kind of like, okay, that's the game. I like the game, don't get me wrong, but they're like, oh, you make all these choices. Oh, it's like, yeah, but I don't want to play through like 5 episodes of gameplay to have an ending that really has no impact whatsoever. I mean, this is me who's played the Mass Effect trilogy like a billion times, where the ending, we don't have to talk about it, but I'm just saying that it's like, I just don't understand why this game needed to be remastered. And now it's been delayed. It's like, huh? Like, what? Like, it's a remaster, you guys. It should not be like this. We should not be delaying remasters now. That is insane to me.
I already yelled at them a lot in our E3 episodes. I won't harp on this too much, but like, it doesn't look better. It doesn't look better at all. It looks slightly different.
Yeah.
Not a
emotions
single
are
improvement.
enhanced. I feel like the facial animations look a little bit better.
Maybe, but also it's just like the color. They just like changed the saturation 4%.
Yeah,
and they're
true
like,
colors now.
They're like remastered, and I'm like, shut up.
That's what I'm saying though. Why?
But I was already mad because True Colors. That's the new one, right?
Yes.
True Colors is coming out mid-September, and this collection was coming out at the end of September. And I was like, wait. No, the point of remasters when a new game is coming out is to get people interested and have them play the old games. So why are you releasing it afterwards? And now it's not just afterwards. It's the following year.
It's nonsensical.
It's making me laugh a lot. Good on them. Good.
Yeah.
Delay it to 2023. Delay it to 2024.
Yeah.
Should I you know what? 2027. Let's give them all the time they need to remaster, to turn the saturation from 5% to 6%.
Yeah. You better get that saturation knob going. That hue. I need to see that pinkish orange hue. My life depends on it.
Hugh Grant?
Hugh Mungus?
I don't like that you said it and then just had your smile grew bigger than your face.
That's a great name.
Sure it is. Is that what you're going to name your child?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Humongous.
My spawn.
Your spawn?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Your respawn?
Oh. It would be funny if we had a news story about Respawn, but we don't.
No, we had news about Respawn like, what, 5 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good times.
good times.
Time
Well,
isn't
Kelly,
real.
time is not real. You know what is real, though?
What?
That we will certainly be back next week.
Yes.
I'm very excited. This was a far nicer episode than last week. Last week was a whole bunch of horrible news.
Yeah, that's true.
And this week, even the bad news I was laughing.
We were chuckling. We were feeling mirthful.
I was mirthful. I do have some really bad news, though. The next episode will be exclusive to our Canadian listeners. And will also only be available for 4 days.
Yep.
We will check IP addresses, so if you want to listen, you must go to Canada.
Yes.
And if you're thinking of using one of those things that changes your IP address to different countries, no, you have to send us photographic evidence before we let you listen.
I need to see a picture of you in Toronto.
Yeah, you and a moose.
With a Mountie.
In Toronto.
Or it's null.
And you're holding Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And a moose. You're holding a moose.
Yeah, you need to be as Canadian as possible. Hockey sticks.
Yes. So you have a hockey stick in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the hockey stick is a bag of Tim Hortons.
Mm-hmm. Timmy Hose, yeah.
And your other hand, you're holding a full-size moose.
I don't know, like holding might be a little unrealistic.
Hugging a full-size moose.
That works, yeah.
While also riding an even larger moose.
Yes, uh-huh.
And also you're hanging out with, I don't know, what are the Canadian police called? Don't they have a funny name?
The Mounties.
Oh, you said that already.
I did,
And
yeah.
I did not process it correctly.
They wear funny hats.
Yeah.
They wear Arby's hats.
And they all have mustaches because I'm imagining them with mustaches right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the lady Mounties have big ol' mustaches.
Oh, yeah. It's a requirement for the job.
Yeah, for Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in Canada has Tom Selleck's mustache. Every single human being.
Yeah.
And every moose.
And every moose.
Yeah. So
a moustache.
All right, we're done. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Bye. Thanks for listening.